Complementary shaders are beautiful, but what if I told you they could look even better? Today, I'm going to show you the best settings that I use to get a near vanilla experience. These settings are aimed to remove excess shadows, contrast, and reflections, while still maintaining a beautiful effect. So let's get straight into it. Okay, so on the main page of the Complementary Shader pack, you want to set your profile to whatever you think your PC can handle. I will leave mine to default high, and then I move RP support to basic. That will disable all glowing ores and nether materials, and it's just down to personal preference, whatever you prefer. But as we're going for the vanilla look, I feel that basic is more appropriate. Then you want to go into the sky settings, and we're going to change the vanilla skybox brightness to 1.0. Then sun glare strength to 0.8, and leave the rest as default. Then we're going to go into the cloud settings and change the cloud thickness to 3, the cloud height to 50, cloud opacity to 0.8, cloud amount to 10, cloud speed to 2, and cloud brightness to 3. Once you're done, you can come out of this section. Then down to night sky settings, and I like to set the shader star amount to high, the star brightness to 1.4. I then like to leave galaxies on and turn the galaxy brightness up to 1.15. And then for the aurora and the ender nebula settings, I just leave them on default. I think they look great. Okay, so moving back, we are now going to move on to the lighting. So leaving everything default here, select overworld light colors and change the morning intensity to 1. And also the evening intensity to 1. Back at the menu, we're now going to select the world option and go into the fog settings. Now in here, I like to turn the atmospheric fog off and leave all the rest on default so you can go back. Then on waving stuff settings, I like to turn waving leaves on, waving speed to 0.25 and then go back. Then in light shaft settings, I disable these altogether as I feel they're just too overbearing and they don't look very vanilla. Okay, back at the main menu again, go down to post process. I like to leave all these settings as default, so going to the bloom settings and turn those off as well. Then go back, go into tone map, and this is where we can make the biggest changes to complementary shaders. Begin by setting your tone map exposure to 3, your tone map white curve to 3, your tone map lower curve to 0.95, your tone map upper curve to 1, your vibrance to 1.10, and your saturation to 1.5. You can also set your auto exposure to light or intense, and that will automatically adjust the brightness in dark areas. But for today, we're going to leave that off. Once done, go back to the main menu. Okay, now we're going to select water, and leaving these at default, go into the water wave setting, and for a nice calm water appearance, set the bumpiness to 0.45, water speed to 1, noise 1 multiplier to 0.3, noise 3 multiplier to 0.10, the size to 200, noise 2 multiplier to 0.3, and noise 4 multiplier to 0.10. Go back one page, click on watercolor, and then I just like to bump vanilla watercolor influence up just a little bit to 10%. And that's it for the water. Back at the menu again, next on the list is shadows. Depending on how well your PC will perform, I prefer to set the shadow distance up to 16 chunks so that builds don't have really overbearing shadows from a distance. Then, keeping with the vanilla trend, I do like to turn no foliage shadows on. Again, this is personal preference and it's because I'm going for vanilla. Okay, back at the main menu again, we're going to go into materials, click reflection settings, and I like to turn specular reflections and specular sky reflections off. Then go back one, and bear in mind if you do want glowing ores, this is where you select it. You change to integrated PBR, And then you have all of your settings in here, like emissive ores and emissive glow lichen. However, like I said, for the vanilla look, I prefer to keep those disabled. And once you've inputted all those settings, it's time to hit apply. Let me know what you would do differently in the comments, and thanks to Mr. Matt Ranger for sharing some builds. Hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you around.